Do you ever have issues like I do with revisions and clients wanting things that just go way beyond scope? Well, this morning I woke up to the exact type of message that I don't want to hear, which is, hey, I didn't see all the feedback implemented. This is likely. This is likely to happen if you started in this space. If you have any sort of development agency, creative agency, or agency or service where there is some kind of back and forth, then you probably know this pain. And so I wanted to address this for myself, and then I'm going to develop this and use this as something that I'm going to market so you guys can understand how I would build something based off of a problem and then move into the marketing of it as well. Now, getting into the actual building of it, I did a lot of it already. And as you can see, there's a couple different things. Here we just see all the requests that are going to be implemented into this or imported into this from the clients. And then we're going to have just a basic status thing. And that's the key of all this. I wanted to make this super basic, okay? And then the couple other tabs here are just showing you when I have items that are pending for my approval, and then sprints that are going to be starting. A sprint is basically a period of time where a person or a client is going to be able to go and submit and edit different requests. And then users is just user management on the back end. Okay, so that's the basic idea. And something I've already done prior to this was hop over into Reddit and make a post on what people thought would be the best out of a few builds. So I actually had a couple others, and I wanted to go ahead and put these into basically a post for people to vote on. And one of them was going to be this photo one, another one was a poker tool, another one was this bank statement comparison tool, and then the last one was the one I just showed you. We've been having some conversation here down below. It's been pretty good. A lot of people are just saying, try to get to the root of the problem, see if there's anything else out there. They've been making their votes. And when it comes to the final decision to make something, it was kind of a tie between this one and the bank statement converter, this one over here. But because this is just so like day-to-day painful for me, I really want to work on this app here for the requests, and maybe I can even use it as soon as next week or the next 2 weeks for one of my clients. So that being said, what are we going to do from here? We're going to go ahead and start by going onto Reddit and then creating a post. So I found this place called Vibe Coding. There's a couple other Reddit threads, I think they're called. And I'm going to create a post in here, and I'm going to type something in like, what would you like to see in a build solving for scope creep? Actually, I don't like that. It's kind of long and I feel like it takes a while to get to the point. Let's do something punchier. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back into the main post here, and we're going to look at some of the top ones, see if I can go best, hot, top, and then just look at the titles. So there's not like a big thread other than just using numbers, and then you have things like bugs in half, sign up for, well, this is promoted. I keep getting got by those things. But you do see rate my website for free subscription and stuff like that. So that being said, what I'm going to do now actually is going to go back, and I'm going to use that to fuel my headline. And what I'm going to put in is going to be something like cut down on the headache of managing client revisions by half. Okay, so again, a bit more clickbaity, you can already tell, a bit more results focused, you can already tell. So it depends on you where you want to go with that. I'm just going to go for the thing that gets the most eyeballs, and then I'm going to try to really sell it here in the body copy. So I'm going to take a few minutes to do this, then add a photo, and then we're going to post live. So I went ahead and whipped up some body copy. I have just like a short introduction of why it came to be as an idea, what the process is for someone to use it, and then just kind of an open forum down here of what people are using and seeing if they have any comments or the like. I ended it off with a few questions to kind of stir up some activity and engagement. I noticed that if you do that, it really does make for more people to comment on it and give their opinions. Whether they're strong and ignorant or actually helpful is a whole nother story. But that being said, I think we're all good here. Just need to add a couple images. Okay, and there we are. As you can see, got my nice post. It got some images there so people can reference it, and then you have a description of everything there technical, and then you have some questions for engagement. So we'll let this cook, and then we'll come back later, see if there's anything good, and then I'll update you guys. All right, it's a little bit later in the day. Hop back onto Reddit to check if there's any activity, and unfortunately, we got nothing. That's kind of how it goes, but I did see this thing here in my notifications about an article talking about different ways that you can do marketing. And obviously, we're going to continue to squeeze the juice out of Reddit by taking what we posted in this thread and posting it in other threads, potentially tweaking the copy, the headline, etc., and kind of just doing that kind of grassroots marketing on Reddit. I have tried Reddit before, and they're a little different, I would say. You have to kind of speak more as a builder than a marketer. And so it's not as direct response copywriting, if you're familiar with that, right? It's not as, here's what I have, come buy it. It's more like, here's what I'm doing, what do you think? And so it's particularly helpful in those early stages, maybe when you're building like a waiting list. And then as you move into more aggressive marketing, you can run ads and do some other things here. The socials right now, it's more so focused like on my firm and on myself as the actual studio. So it's not very project specific. I want to keep this project specific so we can see how it actually does. But that being said, good day. We've decided on our main platform, which is going to be Reddit. We've decided on our main strategy, which is going to be copying and pasting throughout different threads in Reddit, and then observing feedback and then stirring up engagement. See how it does over the course of a week. Hopefully get a little bit more feedback. And that's the super valuable part right now. I think that, what we have and what a lot of people have in the MVP stage is good, it's impressive, but then you run into reality. And I think that's what we're trying to do right now. I actually have these principles in my group here, and what we're doing right now is trying to pursue the truth of the beta, pursue it fast and repeatedly, enjoy feedback. And what I'm trying to say there is that you should do your part to get this in front of people faster rather than later, and don't give in to the temptation of perfectionism or thinking through like 5 steps forward and like just focusing on people that are going to be these super users when you don't even have any users on your platform. Okay, that's the whole point of this thing, to make sure that we're marketing and getting these things into reality, not just keeping them cooped up in our files and folders and always wondering what if. That's going to be our approach for the first week. We're going to make sure that we stay consistent with it and see if we get results slowly but surely as these things go. Whether you're sending proposals, cold emails, or anything, it just takes a minute for these things to come out and then for the responses to come back in. So we're going to keep posting and stick with our strategy. If you'd like to continue following along, take a look at the YouTube, take a look at the school if you'd like to learn some more. And that's it. See you next time.